hit back.
All right, everybody, welcome back into the Be Different Podcast. Brad Redford is here, and we have Andy Mack on the phone to talk some Xavier hoops. This is Kicking It Old School with Andy Mack. Andy, I'm going to enter you in right now, and before we get into hoops, I'm concerned with you. I want to make sure that everything is going well on your end. You're healthy, energized. You sounded well when you answered the phone this morning, Andy, but yeah, the floor is yours. How is Andy Mack?
Brad, I'm glad for your concern. I know it's sincere. I'm doing well. I would have been doing much better if the Muskies had taken control of their own situation as they could have by winning at Butler on Tuesday. But I've accepted that reality. I was there at Hinkle Fieldhouse. They gave me a press pass. I don't know why, but they believed that I was legitimate media. I sat there and watched the game, and the Muskies had their chances. That damn Butler Bulldog team, it was the perfect storm. Senior night, and then that Paul Jorgensen, I was worried about. I'm not Nostradamus, but I was worried about that guy going in because he usually comes off the bench. Either he shoots you in or shoots you out. He's like instant offense. My son Sean, we were talking about that guy after the game. He scored 19, Jorgensen did. He had 5 rebounds. He never rebounds. He had 5 steals. He never steals the ball. But he's like a poor man's J.P. McCure. That guy's a gambler. He's never seen a shot he doesn't like. He just puts it up and laughs at you. Jorgensen torpedoes Xavier. I mean, and Lavelle Jordan, the coach at Butler, started him on senior night along with the Moeller guy, Nate Fowler, and it was aces for Lavelle Jordan, man. Because Jorgensen brought him home. He played great. Kamar Baldwin plays great every game. I mean, he was super against the Muskies. But Jorgensen, the wild card, he hadn't played like that in over a year. And I just had a bad feeling about it. And Xavier should have just face guarded that guy. But I mean, the scouting report says, hey, let him shoot because he's gonna miss a bunch. But that was. I don't want to get into it. That's sour. And that Xavier still has a shot here at the NCAA tournament. I mean, they might have to win it all in New York. If they beat St. John's at Cintas on Saturday at 9-9, they'll be 9-9 in the league with a chance to be third place still. And then I think they could go to New York with a first round play-in game bye. Win Thursday in the quarters and Friday in the semis, get to the championship game and lose, and still get in it hard. If they go 8-10, if they lose to St. John's Saturday, they're going to have to win 4 in 4 days to get the automatic bid. So there still are some options for the Muskies. I mean, they're still playing well. I mean, maybe this run just started too late for Xavier with a 6-game losing streak. They've won 5 out of 6. If they make it 6 out of 7 by beating St. John's, I think they could still write an at-large Hail Mary ticket and maybe have to play up in Dayton in the first 4 or some garbage. Other than that, and the automatic bid, it might be NIT time. Yeah. And I think there's some intriguing NIT possibilities. I hate to talk about the NIT. I don't want, it may be the only, it may be a life preserver here. They could end up playing the Dayton Flyers in the NIT or Wright State, or like that, or NKU.
Yeah, very possible.
That might be interesting.
Well, you look around the Big East, Villanova right now in sole possession of first place. They're 1 game ahead of Marquette, who has really struggled here down the stretch. And then you have that mash in the middle, 5 teams that are tied for third place: St. John's, Georgetown, Seton Hall, Creighton, and the Xavier Musketeers. So there is a lot of ground to make down the stretch. Andy, I know that you've been watching and keeping track of the Big East. What's standing out to you?
Well, how about Marquette? I mean, talk about a fuck strangler. They've lost 3 straight games.
Jeez.
And last night, they had a chance to still control their own fate and win the regular season of the Big East. They go into the Rock in Newark, and they're leading, 59-43 left against Seton Hall. They have like a 13-point lead with Marcus Howard, the Hauser brothers, all that talent. And Seton Hall wins the game 73-64. They finish, the Pirates do, on an 18-0 run. And Marquette is like, I watched the end of the game, and they were like totally disheveled and discombobulated. Man, they kept giving the ball to Marcus Howard, and everybody else would like run to the sidelines and shiver. It was Miles Powell dropped 34 for Seton Hall. That guy's a flat-out killer. Howard had a bad ball game. Marcus Howard, the little guard, he scored 6 points, 2 for 11 from the field. No free throws. Unbelievable. He didn't go to the free throw line. Marquette turned the ball over 18 times. So Villanova now, that they control their fate. I mean, everybody's buried them about 8 times this year. If they win at Seton Hall Saturday, which will be no easy feat, they will win the Big East outright.
Wow.
And this is a good thing for Xavier. We got to root for Villanova. I hate to do it against Seton Hall because it gives Villanova the championship, and Xavier would win a tiebreaker for third place if they end up tied with Creighton at 9-9. That's what Ken Palm is predicting. That Xavier and Creighton will be the only 9-9 teams out of that, that 5-team group there at 8-9. And Xavier has the tiebreaker on Creighton, I believe. It's so complex because they beat Villanova, and Creighton lost to them twice. So that's the way they do that, because Creighton and Xavier split. They're head to head. So you got to root for Villanova on Saturday at Seton Hall, and that'll help nicely. But the last night, huge game. How about this score? Would you ever believe that in Chicago, DePaul 101, Georgetown 69, a 32-point mark.
DePaul is on a heater right now. I mean, Max Strus maybe had the performance of the conference season at St. John's the game prior, 43 points. I mean, it was spectacular, and DePaul comes out and just blasts Georgetown. And no one expected. I mean, not surprised that maybe DePaul was able to win, but in the fashion that they did it. I mean, that score is ridiculous, Andy.
I got home from a little social engagement last night. And turned that
social
game
engagement,
on, and it was like with 8 minutes left in the first half. I turn it on. I'm waiting for a score. They pop up the Kyra. It was 42-15 DePaul. 42-15. They were up 27.
Oh, my God.
13 minutes into the ball game, they win it. Strus had a bad night. He only scored 30 last night for DePaul. Like you said, he had 43, Brad, against that St. John no defense group. And DePaul is. I mean, they're out of the basement now. I think they're 7-11 or something in the league, and they're 7-10. Yeah, 7-11 would mean they'd already played 18 games. 7-10, and I mean they're dangerous. Anything can happen here.
I feel like every single team in the Big East could win the Big East Conference tournament. I mean, when I look at all the teams down the list, and we've seen them all, I mean, I could legitimately see just about every team being able to come away with the trophy. So, I mean, if you're looking at Xavier, you're Coach Steele, you're saying, hey, we just won 5 in a row. We're one of the hottest teams in the conference. I mean, there's no reason Xavier can't go to Madison Square Garden and win enough games to win a title. I mean, that's the mindset that the players and the coaches have to have right now. You get St. John's at home, you take care of business, you get momentum and that winning emotional side back on your game. You go to New York, take care of business. I mean, that has to be the motivation and the mindset right now.
All the talking heads are right with you, Brad. Steve Lavin and Donnie Marshall and Bill Raftery and Gus Johnson. Anybody can win this. They go into Madison Square. Yeah. Let's be real. I mean, nobody is going to come out of the play-in game and win 4 games in 4 days. That's not going to happen. Mm-hmm. This league there's too much talent. Villanova and Marquette are going to be rested and waiting. Although Marquette, I have grave doubts about their heartbeat at this point, but they may recoup. I don't know. But Xavier needs to win. They need to beat St. John's to be real about this NCAA stuff. That would put them at 9-9. They get a play-in game bye. They play a Thursday quarterfinal. And I believe that if Xavier beats St. John's, they go 9-9 in the league. If they win the quarters and they win in the semis, they don't have to win the championship. They don't have to get the automatic bid. Let's face it, they're going to take at least 3 teams from the Big East, maybe 4. I think there's still a chance they'll take 4, although the mediocrity in the middle of this league is somewhat staggering. It may go down to 3 bids for the Big East, would be the all-time low since the new Big East started back in 2013, 2014. But the best Xavier scenario is to beat St. John's Saturday at home, go to New York, take Wednesday off, win the quarters on Thursday, win the semis on Friday, and then go to the championship game and put up a good fight. I mean, win it, you get the automatic bid, but put up a good fight against the Villanova or Marquette, and then I think odds are you're going to Dayton or you're getting an 11 seed and playing in Tuscaloosa and the gym down there, but you're in the NCAA field of 68. I think that's a distinct possibility.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, though. Bottom line, Xavier needs the bye. They have to take care of business against St. John's. You look at the other teams that are tied for third right now. Georgetown has to go to Marquette to win that game. Seton Hall plays Villanova, and you'd expect Villanova to play well with the conference championship on the line for the regular season title. Creighton plays DePaul at home. I would think the favorite would be Creighton in that game, but DePaul has played well as of late. So bottom line for Xavier, just win, beat St. John's, get the bye, and then you go to New York and have to win just 3 games to win that Big East title.
Yeah, I think it's, Andy Mack with his crystal ball here. I mean, I haven't picked a winner since Moby Dick was a minnow, to be honest, but I see Xavier and Creighton tied at 9-9 for third place. Xavier gets the tiebreaker. They get the 3rd seed because they beat Villanova, and Creighton lost to the Wildcats twice. Villanova wins the league outright, I think. And then Xavier would, I don't know who they play. They play the number 6. I think that's probably a winnable game.
Yep.
And Xavier's playing damn well.